Welcome, ladies, gentlemen, and trolls, to the first edition of the Doctor's Seat. And if you don't know who the Doctor is, let me introduce you. My name is Dr. Trey. I am a gamer. I love Nintendo. And I am what you would call an expert in my field. An expert in the field of video games. I know this industry like the back of... What the heck is that? Anyway, so the reason why I started this series is, like I said before in a previous video, a lot of my subscribers, a lot of people on the internet, a lot of people in the industry want to know the doctor's thoughts on things. They want answers. They want an alternative to Pack Attack that actually has correct answers. So that's what the doctor is here for. If you have a question about the gaming industry, the doctor is here for that definitive answer for you. Now let's get into the questions. Now Galactic Frith says, do you think the next Nintendo consoles will have a unified game system, meaning all games released on both handheld and home consoles? No. I do think that they're gonna, like Nintendo's already said before, they're gonna share similar technology that makes porting very easy. There probably will be quite a few games that are cross-platform between the next Nintendo system and the next Nintendo handheld, such as what they did with Smash Brothers. But I don't see that being for all games. That really wouldn't make much business sense. Because if you have the same library across both their handheld and their home console, it doesn't really make sense to buy both of them, does it? Then Twilight Angel says, why hasn't Bayonetta 2 sold 1 million? Well, I think a large part of that reason, even though it's at about, it's past about 600K right now, the reason why I think it hasn't reached 1 million yet is a big factor, actually, price. That game came out last October and it's still regular price. And I know some of you guys are gonna be like, oh wait, but the doctor, Nintendo games don't drop in price. That's just what they do. Whether Nintendo wants to drop this suggested retail price of a game, keyword there, suggested, has nothing to do with what retailers will do if a game is not selling well or not meeting their expectations sales wise, including Nintendo games. There's been first party Nintendo games that didn't sell well on the Wii U and they dropped the price really quick. Wonderful 101 says hello. Even Mario Kart and Smash Brothers have seen more sales than Bayonetta 2. So yeah, that has really nothing to do with it. If the game was really selling that bad, the retailers would have dropped the price on it. So apparently, at least for the amount of shipment, the amount of units that Nintendo's sending out, must be selling pretty well. It would sell a lot better if they dropped the price. If they dropped the price of Bayonetta to $30 or $20 right now, I think they would pass that 1 million pretty soon. Noel Prez says, should Nintendo go back to cartridges? They could use SSD cartridges. Now those cartridges, they hold a ton of memory, way more than the N64 carts ever used. But no, that's not a good idea. Nintendo should not go back to cartridges. The last thing Nintendo needs is yet another excuse for third parties not to make games for their systems. Alright, so the Suave Villain, aka Star Chaser, says, if you could pick a studio for Nintendo to purchase, who would it be and why? And also, what is your favorite type of seat? Now, if I was going to pick a studio for Nintendo to purchase, based on the different amount of games that they're making and have made, and based on playing Bayonetta 1, Bayonetta 2, Okami, Beautiful Joe, I would have to go with Platinum. I think that would be a very good fit for Nintendo. If we're talking about if we're talking about companies, they should buy Capcom, because one, they're broke, and two, they don't know what they're doing with their IPs. Nintendo, I think, could do a much better job with them than Capcom is currently doing. And Monster Hunter is pretty much exclusive to Nintendo systems anyway, so that wouldn't be that big of a deal. But games like Resident Evil and especially something like Street Fighter being exclusive to a Nintendo system where dudes have to buy a Nintendo system just to play Street Fighter, that'd be huge. And Nintendo can afford to buy Capcom because, like I said, they're broke. Now, what is my favorite seat? Now, are we talking a literal seat? Or are we talking about when I make niggas have that seat? Because that's different. We're talking about furniture or we're talking about ownage. So I'm gonna have to clarify that one, or might have to revisit that question at a later date. Sir Charlie Sheen says, why do people who hate Nintendo talk so much about them in the majority of their videos? Well, it's quite simple. It's because Nintendo is and will always be the most relevant game developer in the industry. Period. Nintenguy says, what consoles do you currently own, including both retro and modern? Well, I still have all my systems. Actually, besides one, I let my cousin borrow my PS2, and he never gave it back. But yeah, I have still have my NES, Sega Genesis. Never owned a Super Nintendo. Shocker. Yeah, I was a Sega Genesis fanboy until Sega started tripping. So NES, Sega Genesis, N64, PlayStation 2, GameCube, Wii, PlayStation, what did I say? PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, Wii U. I think that's everything. Orange Exorcist says, are you a fan of Digimon? No, I'm in my 30s. Cool Mood says, what are 3 PlayStation 4 games you are looking forward to playing, including multiplats? Well, I just got Mortal Kombat, which is awesome. Looking forward to the new Batman, the new Uncharted, and I don't know what else. Probably the new God of War once they finally show that off. Honestly, there isn't a whole lot of PlayStation 4 games that I am currently really looking forward to. That should change come E3, but as far as right now, meh. Alright, so DTorbor1, I think I said your name correctly. He actually has 3 questions. Do you really get girls in those Nintendo shirts? Yes. He also asked, when are you going to get a Jesus Box 1? And lastly, he asked, what first-party Nintendo games do you not like? Animal Crossing and Mario Party. Not interested. Alright, so that's going to be all for this first episode of the Dr. Seat. Get some more questions for me to answer for the next episode. Leave them in the comments section. Thanks for watching. And as always, have that seat.